All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house and welcome back to the channel. I've got three mini tripods on the table right over here. We've got a Manfrotto, a Gitzo, and a Neewer, and they are all tiny, compact, quite stylish if you tell me, if you ask me. Different materials, of course, different prices. Let's say this is gotta be the most expensive. This I think is 230 bucks. This is crazy expensive. These are gonna be more like in the $50 range. I believe this was a little more, maybe 60, something like that. So this thing is like 4 times, let's say, these other guys. And is it worth it? I don't know. We're gonna find out. We got different specs, of course. Tiniest, biggest. The Manfrotto is made in Italy as well as the Gitzo. This guy is made in China. See, Manfrotto is already losing pieces. It's just like there's some sticky tape on this rubber. You get a ball head, which is the 492, which has a lock, which serves like for the pano, as well as the actual ball head. The lock, it can be pulled and reoriented if it's in the way, so that's a pretty cool feature. And it's very, very lightweight. And you know what? Because I don't know the specs, we are going to measure the specs. So here we have, you know what? Let's do it in grams, because I mean, we got a majority of Italian people here. The Manfrotto is 236 grams. The Gitzo is 239 grams, but it's bigger, of course. And this fella is 407 grams, but of course, it is the biggest. So, you know, with size, of course, comes like height. As you can see, you know, this is going to be the tallest one. But these two guys, they have adjustable legs, let's say, not by length, but by height. So this would be the lowest height for the Neewer, and the Gitzo, you gotta pull the legs and just tilt them a little bit more upwards, and this is just like one set height. There you go. So it's hard for you to see, I'm sure, but let me tell you, this is the shortest, and these two are at the same height. Let's close the legs and check the heights for these two, because this has a different mechanism. You gotta rotate this, and this notch is not gonna be in correspondence of the legs, and bam. And now you have this height, and this height. You know what? I got a ruler here, and I'm gonna measure. So this guy is gonna be like a 10 centimeters. The Manfrotto, the Gitzo, is at 16 centimeters, and the Neewer is at 20 centimeters. So you have a massive difference between these two. So low angle photography, you gotta want this fella, like the lowest possible. But then you're gonna also care about stability. Of course, if you want a highest low tripod, like in this case, you see the angle is much more acute than this one. So this is going to be more stable because the lower center of gravity. But I would say that all these fellas are going to be okay with something like this. No issues whatsoever in holding, what is this, like a kilogram or something, kilogram and a half. They're all rated perfectly good for Leica, you know, some smaller mirrorless camera. What about when you introduce into the equation something like this? Does it gonna hold the weight? I don't know. Sometimes people, they tend to like bigger gears, like something like this, for example. And I don't know, there's even people with even bigger stuff, like this thing over here. Heavy, heavy duty cameras. And that's when the ball head quality is gonna come into place. So, first of all of these are modular. It means like you can remove the head and just change it to whatever you want. That's the beauty of these systems. You know, you can remove the head, mount a larger head, you know, with quick release plates. You can really create your own custom-made tripod, picking, you know, the feel, the construction, the locking system, because of course, as you can see here, you have a ring with a rubberized end, whereas here you have the classic locking, you know, screw that just clamps the ball, like in this case over here. And still here is going to be clamping the ball, but with a different, you see, it's just pushing up the whole head, and like this is coming down. So different mechanism to lock in place. So what's the difference? Well, you know, if you use the camera with the head that is perfectly leveled like this, you're gonna be fine even with this guy. This is like a heavy rig, Z9 7200. I'm gonna screw this right over here. I'm just gonna put this to the side for a second. I'm gonna screw it down, and look, it's like perfectly capable of holding like this. Look, perfectly centered. You know, it's not this most stable, but it's there. The thing is, if I do this, if I want to focus like that, first of all, you need like to do a different way. But let's say I want to do this. So I'm balancing on one leg. It's gonna hold. Let's say if I want to do something like this, so I'm gonna hold on this leg. So back heavy, you see, is not gonna hold. So I cannot use this setup if I want to point upward with this $230 tripod. Let's see the Manfrotto, the cheapo, how it's gonna perform. I'm just screwing this thing in. I could have mounted like a quick release plate. Let's try like this. Look, this is holding. So this head is holding the weight. Look at this. Now you see it extreme. It's unscrewing itself. Now like this, it's holding, you know, and can go, of course, down more, but it's holding in place at a very, very steep angle. To be honest, I was impressed by this guy and not by this guy. But again, we are exceeding the load capacity of this one. So, you know, it's not a fair comparison, but a cheaper one can hold the weight. And look at that. This is another cheap one. Has a quick release. I mean, not quick, but as a clamp in the head. So in this case, I can just directly mount the Arca Swiss type foot on the lens. So like this, just screw it in, and it's pretty solid. So like that is gonna hold. Let's do this, it's gonna hold. So no problem. So for heavy loads, obviously, I'm gonna use this when I shoot low angle videos, photos. This is gonna be with the 7200, with the 400, this is going to be perfect. But of course, the ball head is twice the size, and the thing is that the price is not twice as much. It's a third, a fourth. So that's crazy. But is this useless? No. This, for example, is still my preferred matching with this guy. These are perfect because they fit in the Peak Design bag that I have perfectly. This is taller than this. If I want, it can be taller or can get lower. So I got two heights. I got a very lightweight carbon fiber legs. Extremely lightweight compared to the smaller one. The ball head is rated up to 3 kilograms. So with smaller setups, it's going to be fine. So the point is, this is a crazy expensive tripod. These are still expensive, but much more reasonable than this one. I mean, this is a high quality material and finish kind of product that is really compact, portable, has two heights, and it feels really genuinely premium and like something that a pro would use. These two are cheaper. There's no height extension. There's a column option for this one, but still, that's an option. You can have it on any one of these. None are like suited for large cameras. They are all limited, you know, in flexibility compared, like, of course, to full-size tripod. But the point is that these two guys are performing very well in holding this kind of weight at an angle compared to this fella, which is again over like the limits of over the specs of this tripod. But still, it's interesting to understand that bigger heads, this is not bigger, probably it's the same size of the ball head, depending on the construction, on the locking mechanism, they can hold and withstand very different weights and angles. So, you know, these are great for, you know, casual shooters, for travel photographers. So this is not ideal for heavy, you know, top heavy setups, but high quality materials, especially in this one, but still also in these two cheaper options are providing still like a secure and versatile ball head within specs, compact and portable, and they, you know, kind of feel, this feels like absolutely premium, but these also feel like professional, you know, because they work, they get the job done. So at the end of the day, you choose the one that you think it's gonna fit your setup the best, and that's gonna cover the needs you have based on the gig or the photos you want to take. So there you have it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.